Greetings, enthusiasts of Eve from all corners of the internet. It's me, Mr. Kai, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our Forsaken Rally Point run. Right here on Twitch and YouTube if you're joining us there. I hope you're ready to dive into this. I know I've been waiting. Shout out to everybody that's here in chat, even those that are lurking. Please don't feel too shy. Say hello, leave a comment down below. Um, but today's agenda revolves about the latest and greatest tactic that I've developed to run Forsaken rally points. Right? But before we dive in, uh, we are on the brink of another milestone. Some more followers, some more subscribers. Like if you got the time. Let's rally together. All right. Terrible play on words, but thank you for your patience. I thrive on your questions and insights, so feel free to chat with me throughout the stream or in the comment section down below. Just remember, it's all about good feels, good times, lively discussions, and connecting with everybody else. And a huge shout out to each and every one of you that make being a part of this community even better than before. And it's time to rev up those engines, right? Let's start our journey into the fast and furious realm of EVE Online in our particular spaceship. All right, so before we get undocked, let me go over the fitting. This is a redemption arc. In my last video, we had this polarized Manticore. It's got application, a warhead flare catalyst 2, and a cap control circuit because it needs to be cap stable for the way or how much time we're going to be out in space. 2 damage amplifiers, some ballistic control systems, a small compact battery, application missile guidance computer and precision script, clarity enduring shield booster, and a Mark II afterburner. That is the important thing, as speed is going to keep us alive. Naturally, there's a cloaking device. We're not going to really make use of it. It can fit. I would like to put it on because you never know when you can actually take people out with this as well, with some friends. Naturally, we have polarized torpedo launchers, right? And we have Caldari Navy Scourge torpedo, or their application. I've done hours in testing, and I would love to have used Scourge Rage torpedo, but they just don't deal with the dire frigates or dire battle cruisers. They miss, and you die. So that's why Caldari Navy Scourge torpedoes are preferred. Just ignore Rage. They just don't do the job for what we're taking it for. We're going to be undocking here. Okay. We're going to open up our probe scanner. I'm going to bring it show you. Before I forget, I'm just going to activate my passive modules here. I like to sort by name and ignore everything that's not what we're looking for. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to sort by distance because we want to do the closest one first and work our way down as we warp around the system. Let's set that back. We're going to warp to 30. We are going to kill the first battleship. It doesn't matter if there's anything else other than a Dire Pith Mortifier. Dire Pith Mortifiers are the only thing we're terrified of. We have to hit those guys first and hit them hard. But generally speaking, unless they are not on the first wave, we want to go after an orbit At 33 kilometers, the battleship on field, pop that, orbit its wreck at 33 kilometers, right? And then the rest is cake, right? We just focus dire pith mortifiers as they appear. Without further ado, let's get going. Orbit.
Warp drive
Formed
active.
by two former members of the Caldari Navy who go by the names Fatal and Rabbit. The Garista are a constant thorn in the side of Caldari's state. Traditionally, pirates, in the sense that their operation is not based around some creed or ideology, the Garista are motivated by plain and simple greed. They have bases close to Caldari space, and from them they embark on daring raids, often. Shit. Okay. We are gonna warp next one. Actually, we're not gonna do this because
Warp drive active.
that's too much heat. We'll come back into Tengu and do that later. Let me continue. They have bases close to Caldari space, and from them they embark on daring raids, often into the state itself. Though the Garistas are considered honorable. What is going on? This one too? No. I'm warping into these sites. You might not be able to read it, but they all have dire Pythian mortifiers. That's a death sentence on the first wave. I just want to show you that this can be done, and it shall be done. Though the Garistas are considered more honorable than many of their piratical counterparts, they are still extremely dangerous and not to be trifled with. Okay, this is like, we can do this, I guess. We'll try. We're gonna focus down this Pythian mortifier, and we're setting up an orbit on the Exterminator, the battleship. So, this can be done in a bomber pretty successfully, so long as you focus down the dire rats that are cruiser and above. And a Forsaken rally point takes about a half hour in a stealth bomber. So if you really love stealth bomber or just want to fly the ship, you know, nothing is restricting you. This is just the best way I have found stealth bombers to operate for PvE content that's not like wormhole or like if you're solo, right? We're not really worried about battleships. They cannot hit us at this speed. We're going over 700 meters per second, and that is the benchmark personally for me. Is 700 meters per second, and then you can focus on tank for anything subcap. We're gonna focus down the Dyers as always, which means these tiny frigates. If we were using Rage, we would not be able to hit these reliably, and sometimes they would be able to get in range and hit us for E-War. I'm gonna find some salvage here and orbit that. Perfect. Okay, so let's learn a little bit about Forsaken rally points since we're set up. Okay, so Forsaken rally points, especially in this current ship that we're flying, they take about 30 minutes to run. Okay, so this is a 30-minute activity. If you are doing more than 700 GPS, I mean, this might take our polarized torpedo launching stealth bomber like 25 minutes or so, which is great. I did set a timer, so at 1 hour and 6 minutes, I dropped a bookmark it. So we'll see what that is going to be at the end of this. More importantly, there are 21 battleships that spawn. Okay. Following that, 8 out of 10 spawn. I love 8 out of 10s. They're really nice, really easy to run with a Screaming Duloc Humphrey for Garista space. That escalation is really engaging for me, at least. And the added bonus for running Forsaken rally points, I don't care what you're flying. The bonuses, the drops, the loot from the battleships are worth a lot, right? So if you're an industrialist, you should, and you have no mining you can do and want to do some PvE, you should do Forsaken rally points just to kill as many battleships as you can. We're not worried about the ticks. The ticks are going to be about the same as any other mainstream rate, right? So it doesn't matter what site you do. This just has the most valuable loot in a single location, from my experience, because of all the battleships. Yes, you can have the same number of battleships in other locations, but balance is something else I'll get into in just a moment. The balance, and by balance I mean the amount of other types of NPCs. Forsaken rally points have the most amount of battleships and the least amount of any other NPCs. So you really only have to build to hit battleships, and dire mortifiers are big bad guy you have to pay attention for, and then naturally the dire frigates can be the application issue. So long as you can take care of the frigates and the battle cruisers sized rats, the dire ones, you should not have a problem with the amount of battleships, right? If I'm making sense. If I'm not making sense, please leave a comment. I will try to be more focused, as I'm sort of preoccupied, but once I get a chance to collect my thoughts, I can speak more clearly on the topic. So Forsaken rally points, at least in Garista space, is a giant gas ball. I actually don't really like that. It's definitely not got a lot of personality. It's just like, supposedly these Garistas, which we just read the lore for, kind of just are super greedy. It looks to me like they're just in space in a cloud, right? Like there's nothing going on in this area that's been forsaken by everybody but the Garistas. It would be cool to see, like,
Module
I don't
has
know,
run out of charges.
some sort of defunct station that they're kind of worked together or something. But that's just for fun to think about. I do like the new missile effects. Sometimes I feel like they're just too bright, but you can always like zoom out or look away at it. Ooh, cinematic, very cool. this is it. You just focus Dyers, and then you hit work your way. If a wave spawns and it's everything, like you don't know what to pick, you do Dire Mortifiers. They will chew through you. Followed by that, there'd be Dire Erasers and then Dire Abolishers. And then naturally your E-War, so those tiny frigates that were just trying to warp scram me or disrupt. And we're really here for the bounty and the drops of the battleships. Now you can take a non-polarized stealth bomber into any site, so long as you warp to at like 30 and gain your orbit at 33 kilometers or so. But it just won't have the same time completion. Like you'll be able to tank through everything. Like I could show you that. Maybe in another stream, because this is going to take 30 minutes. But I just wanted to show everybody it was possible to fly stealth bombers for other things than PvP. And it's worth the time. But yeah, you can use a non-polarized stealth bomber and take it into other PvP sites, other anomalies. I do have a fit for that, but it's the same, roughly. Just the turrets changed. Yeah, missile launchers changed. Okay, there are no Dyers, so we're good. We're gonna focus the cruisers, battle cruisers, though. You should take 2 or 3 volleys apiece. There's still a lot of DPS on the field, so that's why I got a little quiet, and everything's getting 2 volleyed and moving on, right? Because we're at 65 shields, we just need to pop them as quick as we can. We're not worried about battleships. The battleships are not what's hurting us. We are moving fast enough to avoid their fire. It's these battle cruisers that we're taking damage from. So I am actively playing, right? Like I've got next target hotkeyed, so I can just hit like spacebar and it targets the next thing. I've got my F1 set up to shoot. I've got the other items on a off hotbar. They would be Alt F1, Alt F2, Alt F3, but they all just run the entire time because I don't need to shut them off. Except for the afterburner, if I was warping away, you would want to bring your speed down. Take a look at this spaceship. He's getting chewed up by my torpedoes. That's the new visual effect. I know it's super difficult to see in this cloud, but the effect is encompassing his ship. That's a good visual tell that I am applying really well. It takes like 9 or so volleys, so we'll hit them with these 5 volleys, it'll reload, and then we'll be reloaded for the next wave. We are a little more than halfway done.
A module has run out of charges.
I am really quite proud of this this fit. I mean, I had to really work on my skills. Like, I have pretty close to maximum skills, particularly to fly this. But I feel like it's paid off for sure. Okay, that's gonna pop. We're gonna check for dire Pythium. We have erasers. We have erasers, infernos, and abolishers. We're gonna do the eraser first, who's the deadliest, and then we're gonna do the inferno, and following that, the abolisher. They're not nearly as deadly as the mortifier, but we do need to address them first, however. I should be counting these out, but I am not terribly worried about it, because we're not overwhelmed with like 6 cruisers or battle cruisers, and there's not a mortifier on spawns. So we're just gonna plink right through these guys. So I was just thinking I should have brought an MTU. I could have done that and orbited the MTU, but that would have required me to warp to like 0, which you can't. I have done. I think I did warp to 0. I neglected to warp to 30. Drop it in the center of the site and then orbit that, and by the time we were finished with this site, all the loot would have been collected in one nice tight ball for us to just come back and pick up. That would have been more efficient. Instead, I'm gonna have to probably follow up in a description or the comments, like the estimated value of the loot we get from this. Because I'm not gonna have you watch me collect all the loot. I just wanted to show you that the bombers can be used for this particular site. We do have a little bit of time. It's Polaroid's torpedoes, like I've stated. Afterburner Mark II, keep the speed up. That's our main tank, is speed tank. Following that, we have the Enduring Shield Booster, some application, battery, damage mods, another application in the rig, and then to stabilize us, a capacitor control circuit. And that's the fit. Okay, we're nearly done with these guys here. I know it's been super lazy, but we just got a tick for 9 million. We just got a 9.4 million tick, which isn't too bad, especially for the type of ship we have running this. I can't recall, but I'm pretty sure people get 12 million ticks, like working really hard. We've just been at the one site, clinking away at these guys. And the loot is going to be far superior, right? So I will remember to list the estimated value of the loot somewhere in the description or a comment below. We're coming up on the 20-minute mark of active in this site. This might be the second to last wave. Yep, this is the last wave. When it's just 3 battleships, we're practically finished. So yes, if you're an inspiring industrialist, or you are flying a more capable ship, like for example the Tengu I have that puts out like 1,000 DPS, you can clear this out much faster. That's not necessarily the point of this video. The point of this video is this is a PvE niche for loot drops, with the ability to bring in a stealth bomber and actually be successful in this in a PvE setting, at least out in nullsec. This site in particular, because the torpedoes shred these guys, these battleships, and it just has an incredible battleship ratio. And all the loot, you want freaking tritanium, like this is how you do it in nullsec. You know, you don't have to import things, you just hit this anomaly. Last one, and we'll call it 25 minutes. From start to finish, 25 minutes, Forsaken Rally Point. This might even be more interesting the higher you go in tiers of spaceship, but I just wanted to show you this frigate is amazing. I love stealth bombers, and the idea of bringing them into PvE was really fun for me. So I took the time to build this and make it happen. And this is the most successful site they could be in that I have found. If you have any other applications for a stealth bomber and PvE content, something similar to this, feel free to chat it up to me, leave a comment, tell me your thoughts. What do you use them for? And let's discuss it. See if there's any interesting
Warp drive active.
ways you decided to use this spaceship. Okay, and with that, thank you everyone for watching. Remember to be caring, be honest, be resilient, be driven, and take care of each other out there, you know? Thanks for watching.